Big Buck GNCC 2024, let's go! This is my first GNCC ever. No idea what to expect, but we're going to go in there, give her the beans, and have some fun. Didn't know too much about GNCC going into the weekend. All I knew was it was the nation's premier cross-country racing series. It's where all the big old pro guys go and race. So I assume the caliber of competition is going to be vastly increased compared to the local series that I ran. Main goal for this weekend, go out there, have some fun, and come home safe. Let's go racing, baby! Had a pretty good jump off the line and ended up finding neutral. Kind of a bummer. We're out here floundering around and fishtailing all over the place. That first turn is usually the most sketchy part of the race, so my goal is to just get out there safe. Now that we're into the woods, let's go ahead and get comfortable and start making some moves. We got to the venue Saturday around 11 o'clock to watch the Pro Quads race, and we ended up camping out. It was 30 degrees at night, and we ended up waking up at around 5:30, got our bikes ready, got dressed, and I've never raced that early in that cold of weather before. I wore about 4 layers. I think I had a t-shirt, tank top, sweatshirt, my jersey, my chest protector, my Camelback, and my GoPro chest mount. So my core was fine, but I kind of forgot about the extremities. I ended up wearing the Brisker gloves from 100% with those palm savers, and my hands went numb probably 3 minutes into the race. So I couldn't feel anything, and I was just kind of holding on for dear life. I was looking at some of the pictures that our friends took of us, and wearing that many layers, tucking your jersey into your pants, makes you look like a balloon. Your belly and your love handles and your lower back's all flopping out, makes you look like a puff pastry or something. I raced beginner for probably 8 months, and then I transitioned up to C-Class once the Sork season started. I had a terrible start to my C-Class career. I think I was getting 16th, 17th, and 20th places in the local series, and then a couple weeks ago at Sparta in Sorks, I ended up getting a 3rd in 250C out of, I think, 7, but probably shouldn't have had to tell you guys how many people were in my row. But, I kind of found that I kind of belong in C-Class. A lot of people that I let by that were behind me, I heard them coming, I just let them go. I ended up kind of catching up to them and sometimes making a pass back on them. So my mentality going into this race is don't give up any positions, which I end up doing anyway. But I can hang with these boys, so if you want to pass me, you got to work for it. We walked the track Saturday night, and there were skid steers and tractors doing actual maintenance to the track, covering up all those spiderwebbed roots. So really cool that this series actually maintains the course throughout the weekend. One goal for myself I'd like to improve on is not getting complacent and following people in the trains, trying to find alternate lines or apply some pressure on the left or the right, show my front tire and make some moves, because I know the people behind me are going to do the same thing to me. I end up following this guy and he stops for whatever reason, but I wasn't going to let that stop me. So we kind of have some bar banging action and I try to push him out of the way. Sorry. The start of the race was pretty smooth up to this point where the carnage really starts to show. We got the first rev bomb of the day. It was a pretty frequent occurrence. GNCC requires you to do a tech inspection pre-race, and the technician ended up pointing out my chin mount, said I couldn't wear it, so had to end up running the chest mount, which is my least favorite of all mounts, because when you stand up, you get a great view of the gas tank and the seat. So I try to cut some of those parts out of the video. Racing GNCC is kind of like driving on the highway. It's wide open and there's so many different lanes you get to choose from, so it makes going through the traffic a little easier compared to the local series. Take an alternate line trying to pass this guy. I end up hitting a tree, which then ping-pongs me into two other trees. Unfortunately, there was a guy behind me that was in the main line, and he ends up friggin' harpooning me right in the side. I think his front fender hit like right underneath my rib cage. And his front tire hit me right in the knee. I'm feeling pretty sore. I don't think there's any ligament damage or anything. I'm just pretty bruised up. I still got full mobility, but I'm gimpy. There was shrapnel flying everywhere. I'm not sure what flew off that tree, but I hope it wasn't for my bike. I'm pretty sure his front fender exploded when he hit me. So, sorry I messed up and caused us both to eat crap. I was already super nervous going into the race with the amount of people on our class. I think there were 360 total riders that signed up, so I knew it was going to be high stakes, a lot of pressure, everyone getting anxious to pass each other. And that was definitely not something that I wanted to happen, I think, on the second mile of the first lap of the whole race. So that kind of set the pace for the day. But, you know, we kept trucking, kept riding, and we kept passing people. Big thanks to the Carson family, Josh, his brother Jesse, and his dad Brian, for letting me camp out with them, sleep in the pop-up camper, and kind of just showing me the ropes to the whole GNCC experience. Some more carnage up ahead. Looks like one of these guys took the other guy out, threw him over the barrier, and they're both trying to get situated. Another guy takes a tumble, creates a little roadblock for me, and I take advantage of it and get a good pass on this guy in the KTM. Usually when a section gets a little muddy and there's ruts involved, I just try to find the biggest rut and I kind of sink myself into it because I know I'm going to fall into it eventually and I'd rather not cross rut and die. Since switching to the two-stroke, I'm no longer as afraid of hill climbs as I was on the Yamaha. The four-stroke, I just felt like I was going to stall or not find my traction, but it's KTM's a cheat code, man. This was a really fun section where you drop down and then you get to ride in a gulch and you get to kind of do a little sidewinder action. If you notice a change in the narration style, it was because up to this point I was drinking pre-workout, getting ready for the gym, and now I'm off a 11-hour shift drinking some Sierra Nevada. So let me know in the comments what you see the changes are in the narration. The one thing I've noticed in the chest mount perspective is that the roost shows really well. You get blasted all up in your face and your chest. It's a great time. Up to this point, I was usually in second gear. One thing I have to work on is shifting up, going into third, and letting the bike do the work for me. Unfortunately, I get stuck in the mindset of just staying in second gear, trying not to die. So eventually, I'll get more used to being in third, using a little more clutch, and really just making life easier for myself as opposed to keeping that thing pinned. I need to work on committing to passes more often. Sometimes I just go into a 50-50 situation where I'm trying not to kill both of us, but at the same time, I am trying to keep on riding, passing people. For all 3 laps, I took this right line on the side here, and oh man, it was just so much easier trying to coast through here as opposed to finagling through those ruts. My confidence already wasn't great going into this race considering the stage that I was on, and the smashing the trees and getting ran by a dirt bike did not help that whatsoever. So when people were behind me, I just let them by. Unfortunately, this guy was in my class, so the race is on. I let him by me, and I'm going to try to pass him. Buddy's definitely pulling away here, so he would have passed me no matter what, but definitely need to work on my confidence, keep my line, hold my position, and just keep riding instead of letting people by me. If they're faster, they'll find a way. Even though the guy in my class got by me, I still run up on some slower riders, and I end up making a significant amount of moves here. Definitely bolstered my resolve. Not certain if it was a yoo-hoo or the alternate line, but we end up giving her the beans and making this pass. Definitely appreciate when people point to an alternate line saying go ahead and pass me. It's the same thing I do. I try to just give common courtesy if I hear someone faster behind me, but I know that definitely contrasts in what my previous statement was, in that I'm not letting people pass me until they earn it. But I guess that's different confidence levels, different skill levels, and I feel like I'm definitely progressing the more and more I race. In the moment, I was just trying to pass this guy, and looking at the camera footage, I definitely sent him into that tree. I feel so bad, but Rubbin's racing. I apologize, brother. I got the Cowie clan in front of me. Let's see if we can make some moves and make some passes happen. I unfortunately interpreted this guy's tear-off as him signaling me to pass on his left. This C-Class professional threads the needle, makes the move happen, and fortunately I was able to make the pass stick on this Kawasaki rider. I posted this clip to Facebook, and my best friend Laura ends up commenting. She said, "I can't believe Flannel Guy held you up for so long. But don't worry, keep watching. I'll make a move on him in the swamp section up ahead." GNCC has tents set up throughout the race that read your transponder to impact live scoring. So I thought that was a really neat feature of this series. Apologies for the colorful language, but I was in my feels in the moment, and we ended up sticking this pass on this guy in the mud section on the inside. Here we are at the end of the first lap. This series is so phenomenal to race. It felt so gratifying just to finish one lap. All the spectators, all the scenery, it makes you feel like you're worth a damn when you're riding out there. I had a few buddies reach out to me after the race to ask how I did and how I liked it. So thank you, Greg. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, everyone who reached out. But man, when I responded to y'all, I was definitely in my feels. I was hurting big time after getting hit by that guy on the first friggin' 2 miles of the first lap. And just to finish all 3, I was hurting. After I've had time to digest my experience, I will say this was a really fun race. On this level of competition, how I finished, I'm really proud of myself. With the way my career is, I definitely will not be traveling multiple states away, sometimes up to 10 hours away to come race these, but I feel like I can compete. This is a very revolutionary moment, honestly, that I can actually hang in with these guys on the national level and still have a decent enough overall finish. Spread some mustard on this Yamaha here, give him some roost, and we're off to the next guy. My brain definitely shuts off during races. I forget about everything that I'm doing, everything that's going on in my life, and I just focus on myself and my bike. People will ask me about the course. They're like, do you remember that section that was uphill, that was a right turn, then there was a left turn, then there was a downhill? And I'll be like, no, I don't remember that. I was just trying to survive. I really appreciate how good the course conditions were for us AM scrubs at 8 o'clock in the morning. I know the pro guys didn't get the same treatment we did and how well groomed the course was, but man, the only complaint I would have would be the roots. I mean, obviously you can't be digging up, excavating, but some of these roots out there were crazy. They would bonk you around. You'd have to hit them square on. That was the advice that I got from a couple of riders out there. They're like, oh, just hit it straight and your back tire will figure it out. This fella's in my class here. I give him a couple of woos, make the pass, and let's see if we can make it stick. I get a little too ambitious here, try to make the pass on the left lane, end up hitting some roots, and I go down in front of all my buddies. They try to help me out, but I'm like, I got it! I hop off the bike, go ahead, keep it rolling up, and I mount back on, and we're back racing.
Damn roots! Hell yeah, bro!
On the second lap, I pull off. My goggles were so fogged up to the point where I couldn't see. There were a couple pictures my friends took of me where I was looking straight up in the air because the fog was so bad. I had no visibility, so I go ahead and remove the goggles and we're back racing. We get down in the ditch, and I give this guy some words of encouragement. Unfortunately, he thinks they're intimidating. I was just trying to support you, bro. In the moment, I guess I thought I was a cowboy, so I gave him a yeehaw, but turns out to be pretty intimidating as well. I forgot to say thank you, so here's your formal thank you. I get to the hill climb, I take the same line that this guy is stuck in. I went, come on, man. He ended up giving me a shrug. Sorry if I offended you, but we go ahead and roll over the berm and try to keep on racing. This poor fella is stuck in the swamp over here. I try to commit to a line. Unfortunately, he ends up pushing his bike into me. I give him a whoa! And we keep on making some magic happen. The woos do not stop. Unfortunately, the GoPro died right before I finished my second lap. I think I ended up finishing 11th out of 18th in 250C Junior, which is 25 plus. I'm pretty happy with my result considering I've never raced at this level, especially in C class. So overall, pretty good. I think I was 164th out of 350 riders or something. So for my first GNCC, I beat almost 200 people. We take that all day, baby. It was a hell of an experience. Again, thank you to the Carson family for hosting me in their pop-up camper and show me the ropes to everything. I'll probably get peer pressured into running 2 more maybe GNCCs. But either way, Thank you guys for watching to this point. I appreciate the support. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and we'll see you at the next round.